Hi everyone, Messiah here, and this is my first live stream. The Rizzler kind of inspired me to do this. I am totes glowing up RN, and I want to put y'all on my glow up. I just became part of a superhero team, like no cap, dead ass. I just can't believe it. I'm here with the Rizzler and this old boomer guy who's really handy. Get it? Handy? Because it's a helping hand. So we're about to slay this sus funhouse and put whoever's behind the arena sitch on blast. But I want to take a moment to explain my hero name. Don't want to be rash and unreligious, peeps. See, it's Messiah. I can manipulate mass and density. It's a scientific play on words. And it rhymes with Zaya. See, Messiah? So yeah, I'm kind of feeling for some inspiration. And you heard there was jams before there were bops. Look at what's happened to me. I can't believe it myself. Suddenly I'm up on top of the world. It should have been somebody else. Do 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 do. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Flying away on a wing and a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Goonies World. I am Meanie, also known as Ryan, and joining me, as always, Johnny Farrow, also known as Sean.
Hey, everybody.
As well as Goonie, also known as Colin.
Hey, what's going on?
And Lunicorn, also known as Lynn.
Hello, good evening, how are you?
And we are jumping right back into some Cape City shenanigans in Tricube Tales, I believe.
That's right. We've been playing Tricube Tales by Richard Wilcox, specifically the Metahuman Uprising set. And we've been in our own homebrew world of Cape City where we've been playing for 20 years, so it's nice to do it here on the podcast for you. But in the last two games, our young Cape City heroes, the Rizzler and Messiah, met at a hockey game where Helping Hand, the Silver Age hero, is going to be honored during intermission for all his many, many years of service. And he was interviewed on TV with some of his old enemies like the Red Hammer. I mean, he's been around since the Eisenhower era. But he still got it, as we saw, because together the heroes, young and old, drove off an attack on the hockey game by the escaped criminal Coupe de Gracie and her amped up boyfriend Hyperbully. And interviewing her in jail, you guys learned that Coupe de Gracie's doctor actually gave her a pass and let her out. She escaped in plain sight. He says he was threatened by a mysterious fellow with a Russian accent and a long coat and a deep hood. He couldn't see his face. He just knew he chain smoked. So you went to the alley where that happened and you found the cigarettes and you tracked the Russian cigarettes to an import-export warehouse where you found out someone bought them all those Russian cigarettes, loaded them into a cinnamon swirl van. And you tracked that, thanks to all the streaming viewers that the Rizzler has, to the abandoned amusement park of Galaxyland, where you found that van parked outside a suspicious-looking funhouse, a sus funhouse. Now, Galaxyland hasn't been open and operating since the 80s, but there was a little bit of light coming from under the crack of the door to the funhouse. Otherwise, it's windowless, and you were approaching that in the darkness. But of course, at least more than 1,000 people are watching live, on the phone, on the little gimbal swinging around the Rizzler's neck. So you're not alone in that sense, but it's dark and it's late at night at the old abandoned Galaxyland amusement park. And the sus funhouse lies before you there, but even though there's a light coming under the door, it looks like the door is pretty heavily boarded up. What do you guys want to do?
Well, we ought to get a little closer, I think. Take a peek.
You creep up to the door and you peek through the slats? Or?
Yeah, if there's any way to see in to where that light's coming from.
Yeah, the light's really just coming in at the bottom, and you can see there's like a heavy door there, but somebody has nailed boards up outside of it. So nobody's getting in and out real easily this way, at least in terms of regularly. But you can peek down under it. Now, you're getting up there in age, though. I know you do aerobics and all that to keep fit, but you got to squat, all the way down on the ground and look under there. So it's not easy. Your bones pop a little bit. And no, it's hard to see anything other than the light itself. You can see a mildewy, nasty floor, and there's some strange colored lights in there. It's almost like theater lighting or display lighting of some kind. But you can't get a good angle and look up and see everything. But it does look like there's a shadow of movement every now and then that moves across the floor. As if something that you can't see is casting a shadow, but it might be moving.
Is there any sound at all?
No sound at all. Very quiet.
Okay.
And so the Rizzler is kind of a couple feet back, and he begins sort of whispering into his camera or his phone. Right, so if you're just joining us, I'm here with my new besties, Helping Hand and Messiah, and we're at Galaxyland. It's really creepy, but it's all abandoned and stuff, and we're just at this sus AF funhouse, man. And I don't know how we're gonna get in, but the old man got down, he's looking under the door, and hey, Crap Trap 294, thanks for the donation, man. I'm not trying to donate while you, bro. I'm just trying to be really quiet because we could be in some danger here, and I'm not really sure. So, hey, do you see anything? You see anything down there, old man?
Keep it down. We're trying to sneak around. I don't see anything. There's some movement, some shadows. I think.
All right, man.
There's got to be another way in.
What do you think? I should sneak around the back and take a look?
I think we all ought to take a look around. See if there's another entrance.
Okay. All right, guys, so we're going to head around to the back here, and he just keeps going. Yeah. It's like a constant, monologue.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, if you guys want to go around the building and just, take a look, see if there's any obvious other entrance. You might just smash through the boards, which shouldn't be that hard. You're superheroes. But always good to check for another entrance. But, if there is one, it's probably pretty well hidden because your first initial walk around doesn't reveal anything. But just in case there's a hidden one there, you might as well go ahead and roll some dice. It'd be hard to spot if it was there, so you'd need a 6. If you're crafty, then you could roll 3 dice. If you're not crafty, then you could roll 2.
I'm crafty. I believe Messiah is crafty.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. But, yeah, we're looking for a 6.
Oh, I got 2 5s, but no.
Oh.
I got a 4 and a 3.
A 6. Yeah. I got 2 4s and a 6.
Well, that's nice. Well, you realize that, if there's a way in, it's got to be subterranean somehow because there's no other obvious, there's no telltale signs of any kind of secret door around the house, around the fun house. It's got a flat ceiling. You can shimmy up a drain pipe and see there's a vent up there, but there's not any, access to the roof or anything like that. So there could be some subterranean entrance. that you're, but it'd be pretty hard to find that, sort of smashing holes in the ground and looking for it. So that's what you see. You feel pretty certain the most obvious way in is obviously that boarded up door. But if anyone was
can help us.
But if anyone was waiting for you, that's probably where they'd be.
At the door.
Well, maybe I can send one of my hands underneath that crack in the door and feel around. Maybe I could. Well, it's boarded up, so I don't know if I can find any kind of latches to open it up from the inside, but, I could just put my hand through there and just feel around on the outside of the door.
Well, sure.
I should be able to make pretty short work of those boards.
Well, that's true, too.
Just make them a little lighter and
Oh, yeah.
pull them right off.
Yo, chat, if there's anybody who's like an expert in like the Galaxyland's history and knows if there's like any kind of underground stuff like attractions or whatever that might have like tunnels or maintenance stuff that we could like possibly use to get in here, could you let me know, please?
Oh, there was several people know that there was some in the Cold War, they had nuclear fallout tunnels underneath here, and there are supposed to be some maintenance tunnels, and you can probably find an entrance to one somewhere. You kind of risk getting lost. In the interest of time, it might be better to just freaking smash through the doors that you can, Although, yeah.
Well, yeah, the lady had a good idea. Make the mast lighter, so it's easier to just rip this door right off. It'll be like tin foil.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, that should be a pretty normal challenge for you. So let's, Messiah, why don't you harness that power over mass and see what you can do. But while she's rolling those dice, yeah, there should be extensive Cold War era nuclear fallout tunnels underneath this park, because in the nuclear exchange was bound to happen. Galaxyland would have been one of the first targets.
I am going to use karma and change one of my 4s into a 5.
Ah. Well, in that case, please describe how you manipulate the wood on the door to get it off.
So I basically just reach out and touch it and make the molecules further and further and further and further apart so that it's nice and light.
Steam off the door.
And then just rip it basically like it is tinfoil.
Yeah.
It is kind of like tinfoil now.
Well, you're able to pull all that just right off, and then of course the door behind it is locked, but now it's where your little hand could probably squeeze under there, helping hand. But it's a tight squeeze, though. Why don't you go ahead and roll for that?
Okay.
5 or 6. You should be able to unlatch if you can get your hand in there.
Yeah, I should be able to squeeze it under here. I got a 5.
Oh, nice. Your hand squeezes right under. It's a good thing you're a bachelor and you don't have a ring on under those gloves. At least I assume he's a bachelor. But,
yeah, he never married.
Never married. He was married to the job. Married to being a superhero. Yeah, married to justice. But, he was never in any of those scandals back in the day. Never in the tabloids. I was on the straight and narrow. But his hand goes straight and narrow under that doorway, and you crawl up and open the latch. And when you guys open the door and set foot in, then music does begin to play, and you do hear something. And it kind of winds up, it's just like old warped funhouse music, and a few of the lights click on. And a voice goes, "Welcome to the Wild West, the first of many wonders here at the funhouse of Galaxyland, land. And there's this pretty pathetic in terms of stagecraft display of the quote-unquote Old West, with some mountains in the background and buttes and cactuses and whatnot. And then there's an old saloon set that's in one corner, and there's a bunch of cowboys in there, old animatronic cowboys. They've all come to life, and Some of them are like drinking their whiskey. Animatronic bartenders wiping down the bar. But then one of the animatronic cowboys turns around and says, "Well, howdy there, I'm Billy the Kid. Welcome to my funhouse." And he raises up his little toy guns and blam, 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 begins shooting real bullets in your direction. Just spraying the whole area where you guys are. Please defend yourselves. You can picture an incoming spray of bullets from animatronic Billy the Kid's wicked 6 guns, spraying the room where all of you have just walked in. Everybody roll some dice and narrate how you either do not succeed and lose some resolve somehow, or how you succeed.
Well, I failed.
Oh, well, you're going to have to think about that for a minute. How about the rest of you guys?
I think I would like to brawny leap out of the way.
Yeah, I hope so. Go ahead and roll your dice and we'll see. And I think we're probably best practice in this system is go ahead and roll the dice and then tell us what you do, because we've been saying what we're going to do and then rolling the dice, and that may or may not even happen. But,
well, I mean, if it doesn't happen, it's because something interfered or interrupted, or I hit my head on the ceiling. But anyway, I rolled a 6, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, that's good. So you don't hit your head on the ceiling is funny, though. Yeah. How about Lynn? How did Masaya do?
I succeeded.
Okay.
And so what I did was I decreased my density to the point where the bullets pass right through me.
Nice. I like it. How did Mike? How did the Rizzler get around that one with your wild success of a 6?
He just leapt over all the bullets.
Yeah.
And if there's like a some kind of hanging. Because when I'm thinking of these old west like bar fight scenes, there's always some sort of like balcony or something, or a hanging light fixture or something that you could like grab onto. And
not only is there like a hanging chandelier as part of the set, it's kind of an open framework ceiling with like open girders and lights affixed to them, so plenty of stuff to leap up and grab onto. Although, like how you see you jump over all the bullets, I'm just picturing, just jumping up in the air, spread leg, bullets flying underneath you, which is kind of funny. But yeah, what do you grab onto?
Yeah, that chandelier would be great, especially when it swings.
All right, oh yeah, you grab onto it. But now, helping hand, however, he failed that roll. So what happened to you?
Well, I'm assuming since they were shooting, he was a little too slow to get out of the way. Although realistically, I don't know if he could take a full-on shot, So,
well, realistically, he probably wouldn't have hands that come off. And this is a superhero world after all. We assume his costume's probably got some light, Kevlar weave or something, but. Also, you can narrate the failure however you want. What happens is you lose 1 resolve, whether you get shot or hit your head on the ceiling or whatever.
I will just say he doesn't actually get shot with a bullet, but it hits something nearby, causes some shrapnel and maybe some shattered glass or whatever to fly out and cut him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, there's blood running down the side of your cheek now. Man, one of your hands is cut up. But old Billy the Kid there, he spins his pistols around, and then he says, "Now I'd like to introduce my friend Jesse James." And another one pops up wearing a little black string tie. Doesn't look anything like a Midwestern post-Civil War hero. He looks, looks like
those two
wouldn't call Jesse James a hero, but
well, yeah, I wouldn't either. God,
anti-hero.
And we're from in real life. We're right from his area, and yeah, definitely, probably not a guy to be venerated.
No, but although I think he was back then to some extent by some people.
Oh, he was. Yeah, I mean that's why they had trouble catching him. And one of these days, maybe we'll do a James Gang game, right? And get the youngers in there and everything. But for now, animatronic Jesse James has popped up. But you have just grabbed onto the chandelier Rizzler, and it's your guys' turn, really. So what do? You got the one. You're the one who has some momentum going.
Well, and I'm assuming this thing swings a little bit, or even if it doesn't, I can, swing on it. So
and you can narrate how it swings. That's the beauty of it.
Yes, well, I can dictate the physics of this world to an extent. Okay, yeah, so totally it swings, and I, as though I were on a trapeze or something, I swing my momentum backwards and then swing it towards. I'll go with Jesse James since he just popped up.
He says, "Tarnations,"
and when I, depending on, well, no. I can just decide that it gives me sufficient forward momentum that I feel like that I'm just going to let go and just feet first directly at Mr. James animatronic.
Okay, go for it. And you're brawny, so obviously this is a brawny thing. You should be rolling 3 dice.
Good. And I need a 5, is that right?
5 and 6. 5 or 6, yeah.
I just got 2, 4, 4, but I will use a
karma. Yeah, karma. All right, don't forget if you want to, before you roll the dice, you can increase, to get some karma back, you can increase the difficulty. If you tell us how your quirk hinders you, but we don't have to worry about that right now. So, yeah, you succeed. Tell us what happens.
I barrel feet first into the chest of this animatronic and knock it to the ground and end up basically standing on top of it, although I quickly jump off, and I assume it's not... Or maybe it is knocked out. I'm not sure. But, because I'm not sure if these are just, one-hit Mookie type guys or what.
Well, yeah, you kick it and, yeah, it smashes. Well, what did you say happened to it?
Well, I launch off of this chandelier into his chest, feet first, knocking it to the ground, and I wasn't sure if that was enough to kill it because I didn't know if these were more substantial than that.
Well, it snaps off. You find out real quick. It snaps off this little post and lays there and twitches on the ground. There's some electrical sparks, and oh no, boys, says Billy the Kid, we're gonna have to call in the cavalry. And coming out from where the scenery was, or the cactuses in the mountains, just they're not even 3-dimensional horses with the silhouettes of figures on them, and they're all have guns mounted on them, like real guns mounted on them, pointed outward at you guys. And there's a cavalry trumpet sound. And they begin blam, 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 blasting all over the room at you guys. Again, please defend yourselves from incoming real bullets from the animatronic display. The silhouettes of the cavalry.
All right, this time I got a 6.
Okay, well, how did you succeed? What did you do?
Well, this time I'm gonna rush behind something. Maybe there's another. I'm going to just say that I rushed behind Billy the Kid. So
okay,
if he gets shot, then I'll let you decide that. But I'm hiding behind him.
Yeah, you could. You have the freedom to go ahead and narrate. You run behind him and they shoot him instead. Just so you know, future reference.
Yeah, I got to take it further than what I normally would do.
Yeah. That's the thing about this system. Yeah, that's the thing about this system. It really encourages. It takes a while to kind of get into it and flex your muscles with it. You're always afraid you're going to go too far. Or, you're asking a question about something, and then from the GM's perspective, I always just start narrating what happens when it's really not my job at all. This is supposed to be player-driven story. But if you want to go ahead and say that happens, then that's what happens.
The cavalry lights up Billy the Kid.
Yeah, they light up Billy the Kid instead, and he doesn't fall down completely, but his he sticks over on one side like a broken scarecrow and twitches and stops moving. And how about the rest of you guys? Did anyone get hit? Anyone fail?
Well, the Rizzler did indeed fail. Was Jesse James behind the bar or?
No, he was just out in the middle of the room. somewhere.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I think the Rizzler, he lost a resolve, and I think his phone got shot, and his stream abruptly ends.
Oh, no. That's terrible. Okay, well, panic alert on the...
F's in the chat.
I know. Okay, yeah, that's a bad thing to happen to him. And how about Messiah?
Messiah also failed.
Oh no.
Yep. And I'm gonna say she basically screwed up her calculations, and instead of making herself less dense so they'd go through, she made herself more dense and fell on her face.
Okay. It's just like you go through the first sub-level of floor down onto the concrete below. And but it's your turn now. Which one of you guys is the most mobile, the closest over there? Probably a helping hand. You're like, both of you gentlemen are in there, but helping hand, what do you do?
Well, I'm going to do something I'm going to roll first.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, well, 2 6s that time.
No, nice. So and remember, if you get more than the required one that you need, the extra is, you can narrate something even extra better than what you were, thinking of.
Okay. So he is going to grab Billy the Kid's gun, since he's right there, and he's going to now. Well, let me ask. The Rizzler, you weren't still hanging from the chandelier, were you?
No.
Okay.
He launched himself
that's right.
Jesse James,
okay, so he's going to take Billy the Kid's gun and shoot the chandelier down, just like, you would see that in a Western.
Oh, yeah, totally.
It comes down on the cavalry.
All right, yeah,
and
perfect.
Since I got that extra little success, maybe there's a fire starts just on the cavalry people.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Okay. How about what are the rest of you guys doing? I mean, I don't know if
Messiah, would you like to go?
Yeah.
So I fell through the floor.
Well, not all the way. I'm just saying it's like a little bit of like a foot down, where they've got wires and stuff and cables running underneath there. Underneath the false floor, so you just went down to 8 inches or so.
Okay. We've got how much the cavalry got?
Well, most of us screwed up. In fact, I don't know. There's not necessarily anything you have to do. Everything seemed pretty settled here. The more I think about it,
for now, until the next.
There's nothing else popping up. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
And even though we do go back and forth in turns, in the Tricube Tales main book, they talk about letting the turn order follow the narrative. So I don't know, exactly what that means, but I think it's follow things, make things happen when it seems like they should. But for now, the narrative seems to have slowed down because there's no more animatronic quote-unquote heroes of the quote-unquote Old West popping up. But there's another door, of course. And, back when this was an operating funhouse, people would, just be herded through here, railroaded, if you will, from one room to another. But clearly this has been designed for your benefit. Clearly, no one just, set up this funhouse to just randomly shoot at people who come in. So I'm sure you'll be well on your guard as you continue to explore this sus funhouse.
Yeah, and of course the Rizzler is taking apart his gimbal and like trying to see if there's anything he can do to save his phone, but of course there's not.
Put some rice. Sit it in some rice.
I'm afraid it's not water that got in it, was some lead.
Oh. Well, yeah, this is too bad. This is a major blow. And,
Messiah, or is it Mariah? No, it's Messiah. You got a phone on you, and now's your chance to start. Maybe streaming something, or get your foot in the door and take up where the Twizzler left off, and yeah.
That's a great idea. I don't want to step on the Rizzler's toes or anything, though. I did a little short intro, as we were getting ready to explore. Maybe the Rizzler can just use my phone and take over. I mean,
yeah,
I can live stream, but I don't know. I'm not very good at it yet. I mean, I just did just a little short one, only the one time, and I don't know.
Oh my God, you're so awkward.
Do you want to just use my phone? Would that be okay?
Bro, I'll tell you what. Yeah, give it to me and I'll start it up on my channel and then I'll raid your channel.
Oh my God.
Oh, and that's a good thing? The raiding it?
Yeah, well, it'll send to all my viewers, I'll explain to them what happened and then send them over to Messiah's channel and she can take over. Right.
And I can start building my own following.
Yeah, dude, we'll have so many moods, it'll be fucking awesome.
Yeah. And don't forget to mention Helping Hand. That's me.
All right. So, all right. So he'll take your phone and start messing around with that. And he's like, "All right, fam, I'm back. Yo, check it out. So, my phone actually got shot. So I had to borrow a Messiah's phone. And so we're in this funhouse, and we just totally look. He pans around to all the busted animatronics. We just took all these dudes out. They were shooting at us with real guns and stuff. I don't know what's going on exactly, but my phone is shot, so I'm gonna have to go make a new one. But I'm gonna go ahead and throw the raid down to Messiah, and she's gonna be a totally rad streamer too. So I totally didn't say rad. I said something else totally lit or something, but regardless, I'm gonna throw
lit AF.
Yeah, lit AF. You got it, bro.
You're getting it?
You're getting it, old man. Right on.
I don't know what any of that means,
Boomer's
but
pretty hip.
I said it right. I know that.
Helping Hand is lit AF.
So make sure to throw Messiah, some likes and subs and donos, all right? So here comes the raid, all right? So we're going to continue in this funhouse. It's totally creepy in here, y'all. Totally creepy.
Okay. Now assume you're saying this.
Hi, guys. It's me again.
Here she is. Well, you can narrate your way right up to the door to the next room.
Yeah, is it open door or closed door?
No, but it's the kind of thing where as you approach, it's opens up,
Okay.
And you start to get the feeling now, you're probably being watched and expected. And in fact, when you look around, you look up into some corners, there are some not old, but newer small surveillance cameras up in the corners of the room. Oh. Yeah, and here. And there were in the last room, too, but I didn't think to mention it. Well, they were hidden behind the lights. But suddenly the lights come on in here, too. And you look in, and it's not as big as a real big top, but it's like a circus big top. Welcome to all the fun of the big top. And let's start off with some clowns, because everybody loves a clown. And popping up out of the floor in the middle of the big top.
I don't think that's true.
Are about 6 animatronic clowns, but each one of them is holding some pies. And they throw the pies at you guys. And they're all throwing, and one of them misses, though, and it hits the wall and explodes. Boom! Exploding pies. Not only is shrapnel and a grenade, but also whipped cream, goes everywhere. And so there's small-scale pie explosions all around you guys. You're going to have to get out of this somehow. Please defend yourselves in the way you see best. So you don't get pied. You don't get grenade pie. I see that Helping Hand made a face when I made a face. Bad roll.
Yeah, I only got a 2 and a 1.
Oh, no, you got pied, my friend. Anyone else fail?
Roll. Yes. Yeah, the Rizzler tried to hit the deck and, go under the pies instead of over this time.
Right,
'cause,
right.
He likes to mix it up. But unfortunately, I think he got a pie in the face.
Oh, no. Pie in the face. Bam! Well, of course it explodes, and that's no good, but...
You take a
You
resolve.
lose a resolve, and you still got, So this is a full-on cartoon explosion where your face is all blackened with soot and your hair is all messed up, and your ears are ringing.
And covered in cream.
And you're covered in cream. And that cream is over banana cream. It's a banana cream pie with a lot of whipped cream on the top. It's not bad. It's actually not bad. Okay.
Of all the jokes I've not been making about cream pies and your face,
Right.
and all this stuff, and then it has to be banana cream pie.
You know what? I swear to God, I just wandered into that one, though. It didn't even occur to me until you just said it. I just wandered right into it. Well, so Helping Hand, though, you also failed. What happened to you?
I took a pie.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it maybe, he tried to duck, but he was just a couple seconds too late, and it maybe hit on the top of his head and
Oh, no.
exploded, like burned off some of his gray
off
hair
his-
a little.
Burned off his dome.
Maybe turned it brown or black.
So you take some hair damage, some very significant hair damage, and lose a resolve. Well, how did Messiah fare?
Messiah fared very well. I got 2 successes.
Oh, that's good. How'd you get out of it this time?
So I think this time I'm going to tag as many pies as I can with 2 successes and just dissipate them until they fall harmlessly.
Luckily then,
Splatters.
Okay. All the rest of that first barrage, they fall harmlessly. Those pies are steamed. their molecules fly apart.
That's
right. Their mass is cut down to next to nothing. But this can't be the last danger that you find in the funhouse. And one of the clowns says, "Well, I got a fun new activity. You stand up against the wall, and I'll throw a knife and see how close I can get." And look like they're going to hurl some knives at you now, but it's you guys' turn. So what do you do? We're going to let Messiah go first this time. What do you do, Messiah? And the knives aren't really like in their hands. They're just like sliding out from their wrist areas.
I'm going to spin another karma. And I'm going to do the same trick I did with the bullets. I'm going to decrease my own density to the point where the knife just flies through.
They're not attacking you at this point. This is your turn. They're going to use their knives. This is your turn to act first. They're just getting out their knives.
If I can reach them, then I will make... I can only do it to one of them, I would think.
Well, it depends on how many successes you get.
I only got 1 success.
Okay, well then what happens to that one?
So I'm going to make the knife, basically, so less dense.
Yeah.
That it becomes insubstantial. It's not going to hurt anything. It's going to either pass right through or not even, maybe even have enough weight to carry it.
You've rendered one of these.
Kind of let it go, and it just kind of drifts down to the floor like a feather.
Oh, you render one of these knives into a feather knife, and it drifts down to the floor. And without that knife, these things are attached to the floor anyway. He's just that animatronic clown is basically useless. What's Helping Hand doing? Still five knifey clowns around.
Yeah. Well, let me roll, see how I do. I'm going to spend a karma to make a 4 a success.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say that he shoots his hand and grabs hold of one of the knives and disarms the clown.
All right, disarms the clown. How about the Rizzler?
Oh gosh.
There are three knifey clowns now.
I can't really think of a way to deal with 3 at once. So, yeah, he's just going to, and I shall roll some dice. Oh, I think Brawny would count, so I'll roll 3. I do not get a 5, but I do get a 4. So he's going to spend a karma.
Okay, we are spending our karma in this session.
And his idea was to sort of bull rush one of them and knock it into one of the other ones and
Totally.
sort of decommission them both.
You can, of course, normally that would take like more than one success, but we're going to go ahead and do that anyway, though, just for demonstration purposes. And so it's like each success you have can cost a point of resolve to a bad guy. So yeah, you do. You can knock into one and then knock into the other one. Finally, you have your lone little knifey, stabby clown left, and he's all by himself. And he gets so discombobulated as he looks down around at all of his other friends, and he begins to shiver and shake and blows a fuse. Bzzz. And then the door to the next room opens. As all the clowns have been rendered knifeless. They're still twirling around on their little poles they stuck up on out of the floor. But they can't get to you. They're waving their arms around and making weird clown laughs as you move on out of the room, I assume, and into the next room. And here, this is a big room too. You think you must have come, most of this building you must have seen, because you were outside. It didn't seem that big, but this is a large room. There's a very high ceiling. This must go all the way up through the second story. And there's a fake volcano in here that begins to spew fake lava, and there's great big ferns everywhere. And welcome to the primeval world, the land before time. See the world as it once was, says a voice. And there's this great big 30-foot-high animatronic Allosaurus that swivels its head over to you and leans it down and opens its mouth. Almost looks like it's smiling, but it's not, just the way it does. It shows all these rows and rows and rows and rows of fake but still very lethal teeth. And the animatronic Allosaurus, unfortunately, begins to move its feet off its mounting and head across the room towards you. Now, he's almost filling up the whole room, right? So we're going to let you guys go first. What do you do about this huge animatronic Allosaurus, which, by the way, has 3 resolve of its own, or 3 effort tokens, as we would say in Tricube Tales. So 3 successes from you guys, even if it's 2 from one and 1 from another or whatever, could probably take this thing out. But we're going to let you guys go first, because you don't want it to get you. You don't want to get a great big bite of you. I see Messiah looks like she sees some initiative. She's flashing gang signs at me on the camera here. She's holding up that's a number 2.
2 successes.
Well, what happens? What do you do with your 2? How did you get that? Tell us what happened.
So I'm totally just I'm gonna do what I always do. I'm gonna use my power, and I'm gonna turn this big clunky metal dangerous dinosaur into a metal so light that it's virtually tinfoil.
Okay, well, and I don't know if you rolled 5s or 6s, but I am going to argue that this great big huge monster, it's so big, it's got so many tiny little moving parts in it and everything else. This is going to be hard for you to do. You'll need 6s.
Oh. I got 5s.
Oh, you only got 5s. Well.
Yeah, I got 2 5s.
Yeah, well, I'm going to roll. You got a part of it, let's say, like his whole leg and up part of his hip. And so it kind of tilts over on one side and then crashes, but it's still very dangerous. It's lying on one side now, right? But its tail's still lashing around. Its jaws are still clang, 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 clang. And what do you do, Rizzler?
Well, the intention was to get in there and, punch it with some brawn, I guess. But unfortunately, I rolled a 2 and a 3 and a 3.
Oh, no. What happened? Anything embarrassing? Or just simple missing?
He just ran in there and ineffectively wailed on it. He just looked embarrassed.
Ow! It was harder than you thought. Ow.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you need a helping hand. What happens? What comes up next?
Okay, I got a 5. I'm going to say that I shoot my hand once again. I see, this is what you got to do with, instead of just pounding on it with a fist, you got to be smart with your fist. And I'm going to send my fist inside of the Allosaurus, through its mouth, into its throat, and down into the guts, and it's going to start pulling wires, ripping them up, and just slowly start mucking up the mechanics of it inside.
Well, that's great, because that was the last, final point of resolve.
Oh, it was, okay.
Yeah. No, it wasn't either. You're right, because Lynn didn't get 2. She only got the 1. So, yeah, it is on its last life, but it still has some bite left in it. It's still got some real bite. And unfortunately, you're the one who's narrated that you're not right there close to it. Your hand flies off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think probably the person closest to it is, unfortunately, the Rizzler, who's trying to beat the shit out of it. So it takes a great big bite. Does it bite down on you or not?
Oh, well, let's find out. Oh, Jesus Christ. Would that be 2 or 3 dice?
Well, you're brawny. You're struggling. You're not going to want to let him. Yeah.
Ooh, with the 3rd dice.
Oh, good.
He rolls a 6. Otherwise, it was not going to be a success.
Yeah. Now, this would have been run resolved, so it wouldn't have killed you, but probably something appropriate would have been to pick you up in his jaw and then shake you back and forth and hurl you across.
It would have taken me to 0 resolve. I don't know if that kills me or what.
Well, it certainly knocks you out of the fight. Superheroes rarely die for long, but you guys are getting down there. Is what I think I'm hearing. Because you've seen some action in past episodes. So, however, we still have this. We still have this thing capable of doing damage. You've avoided it for now, but helping hand, what do you do? Well, you can continue to have your fist go to work, I guess.
Yeah, I'll make sure. Now I got a 5 and a 6.
Yeah, that's good. So finally, the thing quivers, and there's a little spark in its brain area, and part of the top of its head pops off, and some springs come out, and then you hear a voice come over the loudspeaker. Greetings, old comrade. I see that you're still sharp. Good. We have some unfinished business, you and I. You are predictable as always, of course. A child could have followed the breadcrumb of clues that I left for you. Unfortunately, you brought your young friends and have thus endangered their lives. I've maintained this high level of drama so you will know I am serious. I will continue to pull your strings. You will find me where the games are in the sky. And then the mister stops. And the games are in the sky. That's just a good guess. It's not that hard to put 2 and 2 together. Realize you're probably talking about the Tower Arcade, which was a arcade here at the top of a 4-story building under a geodesic dome that used to be able to see the city skyline in the background of this arcade. It was a hopping place back in the 80s. You'd take an elevator up to the arcade, and on the lower floors they had some bowling and things like that. But that's here in Galaxyland. And you've certainly been called there. And you recognize the voice. There's a voice you haven't heard in many long years.
Yeah, I didn't want it to be true, but it's really the Red Hammer. He's back, and he just can't let things go. He thinks we have unfinished business, but I thought we'd settled that long ago. But
Well, bro, I think we're going to have to go deal with him, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, we'll finally have to end this once and for all. He just couldn't let things lie, you know. He must still hold some hate for me, even though the Cold War is long gone. He must have been steaming the whole time, just unable to forget about it and me.
Well, bro, the Iron Curtain may have fallen, but I'm not sure the Cold War is actually over.
Well, yeah, not for some, I guess.
Yeah, perhaps not. Now, the only other door out of here leads into some kitchens and like party rooms and whatnot, and then you can just walk back outside. But you can see the Tower Arcade is still standing. It's geodesic dome up on top of it. There are a lot of panes of glass missing, though. Water's gotten in over the years. Unfortunately, none of those cool arcade machines probably work very well anymore. But you'll see there's a helicopter approaching, and it's got lights flaring. It's not a police chopper, it's a news chopper. And you realize, because you are streaming, somebody somewhere, news is now aware, and you can hear sirens approaching in the distance. Media and police and law enforcement are all about to start showing up here in the next few minutes. Do you want to wait for them, or do you want to march on to the Tower Arcade?
I'd say we march on.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, of course, this time the doors are wide open. As you walk in, the elevator ding, opens for you. You want to take it?
In case of emergency, you're supposed to use the stairs.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we use the stairs? I don't know.
Well, yeah, if the Red Hammer has control over the elevator, it could be bad news for us. He could send us through the roof. If the elevator could fly right through the roof and
you never know.
Could fly to our deaths.
Probably smart to take the stairs.
But man, my knees. I don't know if I can take all the stairs all the way up.
And it's too bad that the Rizzler's phone is out of commission, because it was probably the type of phone where if you were trapped on an elevator, right, you could probably get in and hack the whatever signal and take control of it. But unfortunately, so I think that the stairs are a wise choice. And yeah, indeed, you guys hoof it up the stairs, and after about the second floor, helping hands slowing down a little bit, you guys want to wait for him, or do you want to charge on up?
Let's get on. Let's help him.
Okay.
Let's
help him.
Get on either side of him and
bro, how about I give you a piggyback ride?
Oh yeah. I think the viewers would like
I'm
that.
brawny, man. It's no problem.
I don't know if that's something that I want to have streamed to the whole world.
Perhaps wise.
Oh, look at the
Definitely wise. That shit would get clipped.
What do you guys think?
That would be a meme. I've still got my dignity. Now, I don't mind a little help. I am about helping people. So if you could each, take one side of me and help me along, that's acceptable.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
All right, well, you guys help him up the rest of the stairs until you get up to the landing where the elevator would have deposited you. And you can see the old sign that doesn't light up anymore. Had dozens of little light bulbs. The Tower Arcade. But there you can hear, from the sounds in there, some of the machines must still be working a little bit. You can hear the... this is like the 80s when the place shut down. So you look in, and there's, of course, some old foosball tables, but water has gotten in here. One of the foosball tables is, on its side. There's some spray paint all over the walls. But, part of the Galaga machine is still going, and the Frogger machine, and Cubert and Joust and a few others. And they've got the Temple of Doom game here. You remember the old Temple of Doom arcade game is here. But also, standing in the middle of the room is a large figure wearing a long coat, deep hood. And he reaches up, and he's got these, like, bony exoskeletal hands, and he pulls the hood off. And you just see this all model, bald, Darth Vader-type head, right? It looks like burn damage and weirdness. But he's wearing a mask. But the mask, with, like, tubes coming out of the mask, it's all hooked into this huge exoskeleton he's wearing as he slowly just strips off. After he pulls off the hood, he strips off the coat and steps out of it all. And it's an old man in an exoskeleton, like exoskeletal body armor. It's not painted red with a hammer and sickle on it like his old one. This just looks like it's been made out of junk, in somebody's garage over the years. And his mask has a setting with a cigarette hole in it. And he got a cigarette in it. And he lights the cigarette. And he says, "Well, I see time has been better to you than it has been to me."
Yeah, I'm clean, healthy, never smoked. That's what your problem is. You always had that nasty habit of yours. You should have listened when I was on those commercials telling kids not to smoke. You should have listened to me.
Nobody likes a cracky.
Well, then I now tell you two kids. He looks at Rizzler and Messiah. Don't smoke. And, but
don't worry, we don't want to be crackies. That's gross.
The room is suddenly flooded
and,
with...
some advice. You might want to, beat your face a little bit.
I will beat a face. I will beat his face. And you're both... I will beat everyone's faces. And the room is suddenly flooded with...
Well, no, you just... I don't need a makeover right now, but you do.
You will get a pain makeover. And the room is suddenly flooded with light from... the TV news helicopter, which is now, remember, it's a geodesic dome in here, so it's shining light down through, and it's filming all this. You can see, like, the flashing reds and blues, ambient, light reflecting up onto the bottom of the geodesic dome, and you can hear the sirens increase outside. So, star squads and everybody probably surrounding the building by this point. Yes, I know, there is no escaping here now for me. I do not have much time left. This suit has kept me alive just long enough for my last act to destroy Helping Hand. And this time, I have two things that will level the playing field. And he raises up his arms, and both of his little hands spin around and detach. And they're kind of flying there, floating there, shooting little, blue flame like butane type jets. Runs on butane is bastard gas, much cheaper. And then the fists fly across the room to punch both of them, punch you in the face. Helping Hand, what do? You can roll dice.
Okay. 5.
Oh yeah.
Unless I need something.
No, 5 or 6. What do? What his rocket hands are rocketing towards you. Now you will see how it feels. Now you will see.
If I can help it, and I'm gonna, both of his fists come off. They meet the other fists head on, and there's like that classic battle. Who's got the stronger power,
Right.
And yeah, they're like causing like this shower of light, and yeah, it's very cinematic.
And when you finally overpower him, even though his hands aren't attached like that, he's like, "Ah!" staggers backwards, a few feet, and his hands whisk across the room and reattach themselves. And he goes, "Well, excuse me one moment."
While you're doing that, I'm going to limber up a little bit.
I waste my monologue time on coughing. But perhaps that is not what you need. Perhaps your young friends, will never grow up to smoke because they will never grow up. and then out of his shoulder, his little rocket launchers stick up on each shoulder, and these little miniature rockets, about a foot long, pop out, and they launch their missiles really at one at Messiah and one at the Rizzler. What do you guys do?
Well, assuming these aren't guided, he's just going to attempt to leap out of the way.
Yeah, leap out of the way with a great leap. How about I see Messiah's rolling her dice too.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to let him. Oh yes, I got a 5 in there. I'm gonna let it pass right through me.
Okay. All right, passes right through you. You whoosh, change your density, and it goes
Good
right
defense.
through.
It's a good defense.
Well, the Rizzler got a 6 and a 5. Is that 2 successes?
Oh, that's too sick. Not only do you leap out of the way, but also you
kick the rocket as he's leaping out of the way. Kick it back in the direction of
the helicopter.
Get to
the red hammer. Yeah, you kick it and spin it to where, like, yeah, totally. And so I'll go ahead and take over here. Smashes back into him. He flies back a few feet. More of the panels of glass, fall out of the geodesic dome. And actually some rain starts too. It'd been getting more and more overcast, so it was raining down into the room, but not everywhere, just in the places where the panels are missing now. It's almost like there's pillars of rain. And you can hear some thunder off in the distance, as well as all the activity. There's shouts out down on the stairwell. You know that cops are on their way up here, and but he pulls himself up out of the rubble. He smashed right into a Galaga machine too. It goes. Wee, 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 wee. He pulls himself up, shakes himself up, lights another cigarette. And it's your guys' turn. Helping hand, we're going to... No, in fact, let's go with... he's lost 1 resolve here. Let's go with Messiah. What do you do?
What do I do?
I'll be totally transparent. I kind of picked you first to possibly set up Helping Hand for the... If you happen to knock off his 2nd resolve here, we're trying to set up Helping Hand for the final if you guys both succeed. But I feel like the room will be...
I think... Okay, so he's wearing, like, some kind of exoskeleton
like an exoskeletal
armor.
power suit type armor. It's just all like...
Okay.
Made it, it's like kind of junky looking, like he made it in his garage.
Okay, I think I'm going to take hold of that, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. All right.
Ooh, yeah.
You rush over to
6.
the wreckage of the Galaga machine, and you grab him, and you look happy. So what happens?
So I change the density of it, so it is basically just useless in terms of protecting him. I render it useless. And, is there anything else I can do with it? I'm trying to think.
Well, how
Because I probably need to injure him
how many
somehow,
successes
don't I?
did you have?
I had 1. I could spend a resolve and make it 2, but...
Well, he certainly, he... Well, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You get to decide what to do. So, if you've basically rendered his suit useless to him, and by what, like lightening it?
Does that cost him a resolve if I render it useless?
If you narrate
to
it,
him?
so yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like you could narrate, for example, and it's scary. All the freedom, right? I mean, it's overwhelming. You don't know what you could say.
Yes, it is.
And yeah, so I like this system, but it takes some getting used to. So, for example, you could narrate that yes, it cost him a resolve because he said he was partially using this suit to stay alive, right? So as he's like, starts doing the weird, like the broken Darth Vader breath, right? And then he tries to stand, but he's getting weaker and weaker and weaker. Helping Hand, what do you do?
Well, if you were gonna set up, so he's taken 2
He's
now?
taking 2 resolve,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, we'll see how I do.
See how you do.
See if I can take the final resolve from him. I do have one karma left. I'll see if I need it. Oh, well, I rolled 1 6.
Oh, nice.
All right, so he's going to let loose with a fist, and it's going to fly right into his solar plexus.
Oh.
And it's going to push him out the dome. Going to crash through the dome.
Oh, no.
Like, he's being pushed through the air, and then he flies right into the blades of the helicopter.
Oh.
God damn.
He flies up into the blades of the helicopter.
Got R-rated all of a sudden. And,
it got R-rated. But, his armor's no protection. So he's just like sliced into a bunch of little pieces and
shredded
and flies out all over Galaxyland amusement park,
turning the rotors into a red hammer of their own.
Oh my. And just about this time, the cops come in and get control of the situation. And you go outside and you go through the whole standard thing that you just did earlier tonight, where you talk to the cameras again. And then suddenly a limo pulls up outside, and it's Mayor Goldie Briggs again. And the camera's on 2 times in one night. These heroes, young and old, well, older, he says, with a wink at Helping Hand, have saved our city from destruction, scattering evil across a 1.5-mile area in this zoning district. And I have to say, to seeing the generations work together, I have got funding available. We're going to start a new superhero academy. And Helping Hand, we want you to be the headmaster of the Cape City Superhero Academy for gifted youngsters. What do you say?
Yes, I'll do it. It sounds like a spectacular idea. I'm happy to be the headmaster there.
Excellent. And you two, Rizzler and Messiah, we hope to see much more of you in the future at Cape City as the torch has been passed. Torch has been passed, ladies and gentlemen, to the next generation. So, stay tuned for future episodes of Cape City, the Next Generation. And right here on Goonies World. Well, that was it for this first series of the new year. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll come back to Cape City again someday, and we'll probably come back to some other version of Tricube Tales someday. I think it's worth doing again.
Yep.
And I don't even think we know for sure what we're going to do next. So we'll see you next time, and it will be a surprise for all of us.
This is Floppy Frank Longfellow. I and everyone here at Floppy Frank's wanted to take a moment to offer our deepest heartfelt condolences to the family and the fans of the legendary hot dog designer and entrepreneur Chubby Charles Chode Sr., who was recently brutally assassinated. I'm aware that Mr. Chode named me as the #1 suspect in a recording he made prior to his death, and I want to make it clear that I had absolutely nothing to do with that senseless and shameful act of violence. The truth is, I admire Chubby. We might have fundamentally disagreed on matters of thickness and length, but at the end of the day, we both shared a love of hot dogs and a passion for satisfying our customers. Being the top competitor of the Chubby Chodes franchise, it might seem to some like Floppy Frank's benefits from Chubby's death, but I assure you, nothing could be further from the truth. Chubby Chodes is more popular than ever, and unfortunately, our own sales have dramatically fallen. If anything, Floppy Frank's is just as much, or even more, of a victim than anyone in this terrible crime. Because it's unknown if the killer will decide to go after other hot dog moguls, as a precaution, I am currently sheltering in an undisclosed secure facility guarded by shepherd units round the clock. Let it be known that I am fully cooperating with the Cape City Police and have freely submitted semen samples, in case they're needed forensically. I have nothing to hide. Additionally, in an effort to remain transparent, and against the advice of my lawyers, I wanted to address the rumors of a prior affair between myself and Mr. Chode's widow, Carol. As is public knowledge, the Chodes have always had an open relationship, supposedly free of all jealousy and possessiveness. Therefore, the word affair is not accurate. Furthermore, I have always intensely regretted my actions that night 27 years ago, as I did not follow my own rule for transient sexual encounters, which is 5 or above, make sweet love, 4 or below, time to go. And before I go, I'm happy to announce that starting this week, for anyone who orders a classic dangle dog or hot flopper, the Floppy Franks Foundation will match up to $1 towards a reward for information leading to the arrest of Mr. Chode's killer. Frank you. Floppy Franks, Flanky Meat Shanks, Floppy Franks, Scandy Dog Flanks. Hey everybody, if you like our podcast, don't forget to leave us a good rating and or review on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Spotify, or wherever you're able. Subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter at Goonies_world, and check out our website at GooniesWorldPodcast.com. Email us at GooniesWorldPodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.